Side bend in the knee. Good. Feel that stretch in those hamstrings. Keep those lats tight. Work on that mobility on that front rack elbow punches. Get them up. Feel that stretch. Squat. Good. There it is. The shoulders, and we don't get under it. So it'll look something like this, perfectly fine. So when we're at our power clean, we're catching it, but I'm way up here. The heavier that the barbell gets, the harder it is for you to be able to really get it that high and rack it on that front rack of the shoulder. So right here, right over the laces. And then from there, you send down and then bring your shin to the bar, chest up, lats tight. All right, here you go. So you remember when we were with Khalifa and he's like, it's like a race car, right? Slow on the way up and then speed it up, which you're doing really good there. There you go, Monica, nice pace. Didn't get under it, you're catching it, that's good. How does it feel? Good? Take a rest though, shake it off, take a rest. Shake it out. Give me 1 minute and then try for it, okay? Nice, Alyssa. I like those elbows, good job. Make sure you're squeezing those lats. You got it, Saul? There you go, quick elbows. Good. How are we doing back here? Guys get, what'd y'all get?
5, 7.
Did y'all feel like y'all had rest time or didn't feel like there was rest?
Not really.
No?
Had a little bit.
What's up, everybody? This is Britt with the IRC Buzz, and I'm very excited today. We have a very special person. Well, I'm going to be partial, but it is my wife, Coach Vanessa. What's up? How are you doing?
Hey, everyone. Doing good.
So we just got through watching a video of what one of your classes is like. I believe that was on a Saturday. Is that right?
Right, that's Saturday class, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. What was something that you kind of enjoyed from that particular class, or seeing yourself kind of on video?
Right, yeah, because that was the first time that I've ever been filmed from a start to finish class. So it's pretty neat just to see myself in action, kind of seeing, what the experience is like. And of course, that particular day, we had a barbell movement. So I was teaching the power clean, which is probably one of my favorite movements to do. So it's really neat just to be able to see myself from a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So I know it's always interesting. I think anytime you're filmed doing anything. So, but usually Saturdays too, a lot of energy. I know most people are off that day. So it's really cool just to kind of get a sneak peek in.
Yeah,
what,
for sure.
What that's like. So today we just really want to dive in a little deeper on your story, just how you started, maybe your fitness background, how you got involved in coaching, and then, just kind of talk about some things in between. So I guess to start with, though, for people that don't know you, what's some background just on your fitness journey?
Yeah. So I don't have a very, as a coach, I don't have a very traditional, fitness background like most people do. Growing up, I was the least athletic out of my sisters and even out of my friends. So, I loved sports, loved watching it, not so good at playing it. So I think that's, just my background's a little different because I didn't grow up, as, playing sports or a collegiate athlete or whatever it be. So I think that's important because, the space that I'm currently in right now, I like to tell people anyone can do it. Like if I can do it, anyone can do it. So I think it's pretty cool. As far as like my fitness, just like any typical person, when I moved from home, started college, I got a, big box gym membership, had that for forever really. So spent, some days going in there, cardio machines.
Yeah. When you did that, what was, were you following programming, or were you kind of just making up your own thing at that time?
No, my older sister Priscilla, she lived here at the time, and so we both kind of got a gym membership together. And of course, we were like two little lost girls in there, just trying to find just trying to stay active, just
Yeah,
trying to
just
lose.
to move.
Right, just to move. Obviously, like most girls, want to lose weight. And so we went in there and fumbled around with the equipment, tried to pretend like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah. Were selfies a big thing back then?
No, selfies were not a thing. And I'm not even sure. I mean, at the time, like, well, yeah, cell phones were just now. It's pretty bad because my age is going to show through. But yeah, I think cell phones were just now up and coming during that time with the cameras and the text messaging and all that. Social media was not a thing.
Gotcha. So that's kind of what you started in. And what was kind of that next step where you started progressing and trying some other stuff out?
Yeah, so next step, I want to say after doing the whole like gym thing, I did Zumba. I think Zumba was up and coming. I remember that.
Yeah. And of course, every girl has to have a Zumba phase, right?
Every girl has to have a Zumba phase. And trust me, like, okay, I'm not athletic, nor can I dance, but there I was. My sister-in-law, Melly, she somehow convinced me and my niece to go and try a class. And I can still vividly remember, I think, like, me and Zephin were like bumping into each other while we were dancing, but it was so much fun. So, like high energy, lots of girls, shaking it to Pitbull and J-Lo. And so, I mean, it's like a fitness party, so much fun.
Yeah.
So I did that for quite a while. Had a lot of fun doing it. And then I had some coworkers that they weren't into Zumba or dancing. And so they convinced me to do a boot camp. So that was a whole different ball game with the boot camp. I remember lots of running, flipping tires. Had a really great coach. It was really fun doing it with, coworkers. And so I think I did a couple of 6-week cycles of that and kind of fell off. And so I think I was probably kind of up and down, maybe trained a little with you in the garage.
Yeah.
And you had your whole
little home set
your
up.
little home set up. I think at that time, I was like Googling stuff, still trying to incorporate some of the boot camp stuff that I had done at home. But of course that was hard.
Yeah.
The motivation wasn't quite there. So yeah, I think going out running around the block, that type of thing.
I think at that time that was probably when we had that little P90X
yes.
little stint there.
Yes, I remember playing those videos at home, trying to do that, which is super hard.
It was very hard.
So yeah, I think at that point got engaged, I remember, and did the whole sweating for the wedding.
Yeah.
And so I remember being at Sam's Club, shopping with my family. I get a text message from my friend Ashley. And she's like, hey, this new gym is opening up and they are doing, they're running a boot camp and we should try it. You and I, we should try it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm getting married here in a couple of months. This is great. Been wanting, to find something. So they did it like a free week, came in and decided right then that day, like, yep, I'm signing up. So me and my friend Ashley, she didn't even come. Like, I think she sent me the flyer, for the free week. And I think I dragged JC along with me that day just so that I wouldn't go alone. And I did it. I signed up. I'm like, all right. And so she signed up shortly after. And we came in and did our first 6-week boot camp at Ignite Fitness.
Yeah.
And this particular style of training, it was hard. I remember you driving up every day, getting ready to come to class. I remember having knots in my stomach because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But I showed up because I had a wedding coming up and I needed to look good in that dress. And, we had decided we were going to get married in Key West. So I'm like, all right, got to get into, swimsuit, wedding dress. So I was super, super motivated. And 6 weeks came and went and I had really amazing results. And so I knew that I needed to stick with it because, still had that wedding coming up. And I think I signed that. It was about February when I signed up. And of course, our wedding was in June. And so Ashley decided she no longer, she was going to take a break. And I didn't want to do it alone, because fitness is always better with family and friends, right? So I convinced JC to start up with me. And which is really neat because, JC is super athletic, played college softball, played all kinds of sports throughout, middle school and high school. And so when she first started, of course, I thought I was all big and bad because I was, beating her in workouts. And that was very short-lived, though.
Well, and JC, she does have an athletic
Right.
background because I believe she played even college softball there.
Right. She played college softball. So it was just, like I said, thought I was big and bad because, I was able
Yeah.
to outrun her and outlived her.
Yeah, but you said it was a very short time because I know those that know JC. I mean, she's incredible and just incredible athlete. So,
Yeah.
so you got involved in the boot camp, and one thing I'll mention is that very first boot camp you did. Weren't you primarily working out at like 5 a.m. or what time was it?
Oh, yeah. So the boot camp before Ignite Fitness, it was a 5 a.m. boot camp, and it was super far from the house. So I was
Yeah.
having to get up like at 4:20 in the morning to make it to that 5 a.m. boot camp.
And I remember that I literally thought you lost your mind when you were going through this, and I was just sitting back thinking like, why in the world is she getting up at 4 a.m. to work out? But I remember you get up and you come back home, and I know you take a short nap before
Oh my gosh,
getting
yeah.
ready to go to work. But I remember that though, that's kind of how you started. And when you started the boot camp at Ignite Fitness, was it in the morning as well?
No, it was actually, it was 5 o'clock. So it was right. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon boot camp. So yeah, it was vice versa.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you got involved in boot camp, and
I got involved in boot camp, and while we were here, I got to experience the barbell for the first time, and I absolutely hated it. And I remember looking at my coaches, Mimi and Cynthia, thinking like, why are you making me do this? This is dumb, and it's freaking heavy. And I don't want to do this. Like, I'm going to look like a man. I'm going to grow muscles and I'm going to look like a man. And that's not what I want to do. I'm getting married here, in a couple of months. And, yeah, I hated it.
Yeah.
And, just looking back, I'm like, wow. Because if it hadn't been, for, that style of training,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy and I love the barbell so much now. And I see now, I hate that there's this stigma that, women shouldn't lift weights, or, this whole thing like, can't lift. Oh, we've got to spend all this time on the cardio machine and running and biking because, you're going to grow these ginormous muscles.
Right.
And now, like, I would like to grow more muscle, and it's hard. It's freaking
Right.
hard. It's not.
Yeah, and I think that's a big misconception is that, it takes a lot of work and dedication,
Right.
to get to that level, which, a lot of it's on the nutrition side, which we'll get to here
Right.
in a little bit. But so you actually experienced the barbell for the first time.
Experienced the
You
barbell.
Didn't like it.
But like I said, I had my why. I had that wedding, so I kept plugging along, and had JC there with me, which was huge because it was that added accountability.
Yeah.
And then somehow convinced you.
I was about to say, I'm going to feel a little disappointed that I don't make your story because I remember, getting started. And I remember, Vanessa would come in and, daily, once you got really into it, hey, why don't you just come work out with me? And I'm like, no, I got my little my bench. I got my workout that I'll do. And so I was literally working out while she would go work out too. But I thought, I didn't really want to do that. Like, I didn't think it was for me.
Yeah.
And I thought I had to figure out what I was doing. And in reality, I kept doing the same workouts over and over.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't seeing results, and I thought I was getting stronger and improving. But so you finally dragged me along. And so I remember, with you and JC, we got really into it and did that for a few months, like you said, before the wedding. But it is funny because I know when we got started, that Mike, which is JC's husband, it was funny because every time we'd hang out, we were so into, doing this style of fitness and training. And so I remember just nonstop talking about working out, and he would just, give us a hard time. Like, do y'all just ever just not talk about working out or, talking about barbell movements and gymnastic movements, things like that. So that's funny. Just throw that out there. I remember that time period.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, really when you joined me here, that was, made the experience even that much better. I think even made us closer in our relationship. And again, it's that shared that shared experience, that accountability, because, there were times that I didn't want to come, I didn't want to get up that Saturday morning. And then you were like, no, come on, we got to go. We can't miss. And
Yeah.
heck, I think there were a couple of times you even left me behind. And then,
It took a little bit of warming up, but I mean, like you with your reservations with the barbell, when I first started, I mean, I'll be honest, I did not like it. But I knew you enjoyed it, and so I was going to stick with it. And then, of course, after some time of being consistent, I started seeing results, and obviously, my mindset towards it shifted. But, and the other thing, I would just come and, have a good attitude and, would just go through the class. And I think what I really enjoyed about it once, I kind of got over that small little hump was I just loved not thinking about anything I was going to do. Like the coaches were here. They were very helpful with demo and everything, making sure you're doing everything correctly. And the programming was set. So I didn't have to figure out my workouts. And that's what I knew. If I showed up 1 hour, I was going to get an incredible workout and feel, accomplished.
Right.
So that's what I really enjoyed, about it early on is, and still do obviously, but that was one thing that definitely stood out for me.
For sure. And I think really with, the training that I'm doing now, or the workouts that I'm doing now, it's the atmosphere, right? Like I've made just really great friends here. And just having that 1 hour class experience, you're coming in, getting a good workout, sharing some laughs with some friends, high fives, and just seeing your body transform, and not even physically, but I think even mentally too, the mental toughness that, I get out of the workout. It's just
right. Yeah,
it's amazing
for sure. All right. So that covers just kind of your background and your personal fitness journey. Now, as far as coaching, what inspired you to start coaching? What's some of that, what's your journey? How does that look like?
Yeah. So I think it kind of just fell into the opportunity into my lap. It's not anything that I was seeking into doing. I'm an introvert, super shy. So the thought of me going up and leading and teaching a class is, just super intimidating for me. But I like helping people. And I think I'd find myself in class going up and be like, hey, doing it like this helped me. Maybe that you can do it, try it this way. Or, or even just going and, celebrating with someone, seeing them, get a lift, or maybe they ran a little faster. And so I think the other coaches at the time noticed that and, kind of put it into my head hey, maybe, you should go out and get your, CrossFit certification if it's something that you're interested in. And, of course, we got you and I were both approached about, coaching classes and, gave it a shot and really enjoyed it. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's standing in front of a group of people and then trying to teach them how to move.
Yeah.
Yep. See, I mean, just seeing myself from that day one to coaching today.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's been some time in there because I know early on starting out. So I know you started coaching like an apprenticeship where I know you were doing some coaching with other coaches that were obviously present as well. And then you went and you got your L1, right? So what was that like?
Got the L1. Yeah. So I can even remember then walking in. We actually drove to Albuquerque, New Mexico to do our certification. And of course, our time frame I didn't have a whole lot of time to prep for when we were going to take over as gym owners. And so I think that was an added level of stress or anxiety, I should say. But yeah, just walking in, seeing these super fit people there, seeing these super fit trainers. I remember even that was intimidating, but just even that weekend, just the content, everything that I learned. I always say an air squat, oh my gosh, who knew there's so much to an air squat?
Right.
But yeah, an incredible experience, and just being able to see how the trainers, how they teach, how they move, how they interact was great.
Yeah, and I remember too when we went is just these trainers just really being blown away by the whole weekend and the teaching and the education. And then also, I remember we broke for lunch one day, and the trainers, okay, like, all right, we're going to get a workout in. So the trainers are there working out, and it's like, wow, this is crazy. So, but just one thing I like to add is that, the education from CrossFit, I mean, is incredible. It's like top notch. And those trainers too, I mean, just like
they
you
know
said,
their stuff. They're good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then seeing you have to be obviously experienced watching people move, but they were on top of their game. And I was very impressed with that. Do you have I remember in that training, so during the training, they'll actually pick somebody and watch them move. Now, didn't they pick you?
Oh my gosh, I think I got picked like on almost every little breakout session that we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was, at the time I'm like, oh great, it's going to be me again. But looking back, very fortunate because they were assessing my movement and helping me and letting me know like what I needed to do to improve that particular movement. So that was kind of like a little personal training sesh. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at it that way. If you overlook the anxiety and the
we're like, there's a group of 10 of us, and they're like, hey, Vanessa, like stand there in the middle and let's, so
do an air squat.
Oh,
okay, yeah, let's break this down. So cool experience. But I remember too, just to touch on the anxiety of that, because when we took over, you actually have to be certified, or not certified, but have at least minimum an L1 to operate a CrossFit affiliate. And I remember both of us were like, it wasn't just the stress of just passing the test in general, but it's like we really had to pass the test in order.
We're buying a gym. We're about to run a CrossFit affiliate. Yeah, we've got to.
So, but yeah, if anyone is thinking like pursuing continuing education in functional, fitness, that the CrossFit education is incredible.
Yeah, top notch.
So you got your L1. What was kind of the next stepping stone for you?
So next stepping stone was diving into then the programming, right? So we're here, I'm coaching classes, but I'm also having to program the workouts for a gym. And I follow the CrossFit methodology just like we had learned, constantly varied, but still somewhat structured, and, offering some days we're just doing, some monostructural movement and then adding some gymnastics and some weightlifting. And I really enjoy doing all of that, but found it really time consuming. And, I'd always tell you like, this is a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And I think I was also wanting a little more structure and being able to have like the programming. I felt like I was losing my weekends because it was spent so much time just trying to program.
Right.
And so that's when you found the NC Fit Collective and their programming. And you may want to talk a little bit how Yeah,
definitely. And I remember it like it was yesterday. But before that, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit, because I know when early on when we were coaching, just want to give a shout out to Matt and Mimi, because they kind of guided us, into the programming realm, I guess you could say. And both of them, I remember were just, really good at knowing how to not really overtrain muscles. Like I remember they were so good at hitting different movements and making sure over a broad range of trying to keep it nice and balanced, to not where you're coming in and you're hitting something real hard and then you hit the same muscle groups the next day. So I just wanted to backtrack real quick, because I remember them being a huge help.
Yeah, we spent like an entire day. We took one of their, I think, Sundays.
Yeah, and they kind of showed us the ropes and, let us know about resources to look at, workouts. And it, for anybody that does programming, huge props, because I don't consider myself that good at it. And like you said, time consuming it is. And, when you look at it at a overall like view, it takes a lot to know, program those different movements, making sure that you're hitting different capacities also, like, for endurance, strength, all that good stuff. So, so anyone that does programming, it's, hats off, because I know it takes a lot of time. So, yeah, moving forward to the NC Collective, and I remember, we were at a restaurant. I got a Facebook ad, I think, for a free trial, and, we took up the free trial, and immediately, from literally when the free trial was sent, just blown away of everything that was included in it. And looking back at it now, their head of marketing, Gabe, we were messaging back and forth, and I was a little surprised because you don't typically see like the customer service they had at that. I mean, I was like, wow. So that was already impressive too. Like just getting a hint of how well it would be to work with them. And that was one thing that, I really liked is how, transparent they were. And really when I did the trial, not at one point where they real pushy or salesy, and they let the product speak for itself. And so anyways, we got that trial, and I didn't even have to convince you. You saw it.
No,
So,
not at all. I saw it, and the content that they had really just breaking down, like they had class sessions breaking down by like timelines, and that was huge too, because I think a lot of times when I was programming, it was hard to know how long, was a particular workout, going to last. And so with the collective, it just elevated for me, the experience of coaching, because now I had a timeline of what we needed to follow, and then even broke down, what I should look for, what I should emphasize in the coaching. And so just the development is A+++.
Right. Yep. Oh, for sure. Yeah. And we could talk about NC Fit.
Yeah, I could
day.
go on and on and on.
So, which we are going to cover that later on. Just, now we are a partner, but that's for another day. So we got the collective, like you said, the coach development, I think is huge, but also, for the members here too. I mean, the program that you're getting, I mean, it's top notch. And for those who don't know, NC Collective, it's a company that was started by Jason Kalipa, and they have some gyms out in California as well as around the country, and even a few overseas. But the programming's all included, the demos, the scaling options, which I really love because, as you know, here in the gym, not everyone's at one level. Everyone's at different levels in their fitness journey, or even off part of your goals. Like if you want to maybe use lightweight for the workout compared to trying to lift heavier, or modifications anywhere in between.
Right.
So, all right. So the collective, which now we're following, and as far as like coaching now, what's some things that you take away from that? I know you touched on some, but actually like in class, what are some things that you kind of you focus on more now that you have this resource available?
Yeah, really just preparedness, right? Like never stop being the student. Like there's always a way to level up, how to be a better coach. And really through the collective, and what I've learned through them is, not only how to be a better coach, but how to be just a better athlete here. And then even just leadership, right? Like they hone in on just how to be a great leader. Like, as a coach, you're kind of the, what's the word? Like the example, right? So it's been really great. It's the skill set that I've learned, it's transferable even outside of the gym. And so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. So what's something upcoming, things that you're currently working on nowadays? Yeah,
so to add on that, I just recently became Precision Nutrition certified.
Yeah.
So got my Precision Level 1. And just to give a little background on Precision Nutrition, they are a company that focus on a science-based nutrition coaching, and more so like on habit-based. And so, their philosophy is, more so on teaching clients how to build healthy habits that are going to transfer, to a better nutritional lifestyle.
Gotcha.
And so, they're not about the quick fixes, diet fads.
Yeah. And so you actually went through this in 2020. And so on your experience there.
I went through it 2020, when COVID hit and we all had all of this extra time, at home. That's what really pushed me to go for it, because I had kind of done I delved into trying to teach myself how to track macros, and I found really amazing results. I mean, when it comes to your health and your fitness, like, working out is great and you're going to see results, but you're going to maximize your results and really see change when you dial in your nutrition. And so I knew that that was something that was a missing piece here at Iron Roots and that was important. And so that's really what got me interested in even trying to pursue it. And knowing that I had this extra time, and the actual certificate, it's kind of learn on your own. And so I took those extra weekends, and I mean, it took me, I've been out of school, but I think I got my master's back in 2011. So I'd been out for quite some time, and, getting back into the real sciencey part of it was.
Yeah. And I remember you going through some of that. And, with the L1, obviously you go for a weekend, you take a test, boom, you get it. But this was a lot more involved.
Right.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember your books.
Started. I don't know. It was like April. I think I may have started March, April, and I think I just got it November. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it took me quite some time, and I had to be, because it's like at your own pace. I even had to be a little self-disciplined myself to be like, okay, stay on top of this, stay on top of this. And it was just, it's great. It really opened up my eyes too to, that, fitness, it's not a quick fix. And, when it comes to coaching, it's, something that, I want to make it easy for people. Just like even, working out here, I want to make it easy. Anyone can do it. Want to make it fun. Same thing when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah.
Just small steps. Small steps lead to big gains.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I think that about wraps it up. For those that are interested, maybe in taking a class, or they want to work with you on the nutrition side, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so probably the best way is either through Instagram. My handle is just Vanessa Barra. You can DM me through there, or find me through Facebook, or even go to ironrootstrong.com. Send us an email that way, and we'll get you plugged in, whether it be through fitness or if you're interested in maybe some nutrition coaching. Mm-hmm. Love to have you.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's going to do it. I guess we will talk to you on the next one.
All right. Bye, guys.